Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Arsenal Truex Galaxy podcast. I'm your host, Alonzo Ronnie Spencer. And today, I'll be, catching up on a few things. Unfortunately, this summer, I haven't really been up to doing any podcasts lately because I've been kind of not the most healthiest. I haven't been at my most healthiest. Um, So that being said, I think it's time now to get started on doing podcasts again. I kind of miss doing that. I kind of, at some point get tired, not tired, but kind of want to do my own thing sometimes. And unfortunately, with the way things have been going lately, I don't, I like doing podcasts. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that I would like to get started on my own on a regular basis. Unfortunately, Arsenal have been on break, so there've been a lot of transfer movements or transfer rumors, such as Mel leaving to Fulham. Which, if you're an Arsenal fan, you guys know that he kind of hasn't been playing a lot lately. Ever since the 2001, 2022 season, in which he kind of broke out and became his own player. Seems like he's on his way. Unfortunately, injuries kind of caught up to him, and Arteta doesn't really want to play players that have been injured, or at least he hasn't been healthy enough to uh, continue playing on a constant level. Either he's on the bench or he's been playing games that are towards the end of the game. Uh, his best match was against Bournemouth, I think it was, and he got man of the match, and it kind of shows you that he's still worth a lot to some other clubs, and so I think that's why Fulham kind of took a chance on him because they know his potential and what it could become, and like I said, I kind of wish it would worked out. Um, Seems like he's always in physio, as I say, trying to get healthy, and it seems like he can never get healthy enough to stay on the team. Um, but he was always on the bench or not even dressed at some games. So, and then also there's rumors about Eddie and Kadia going to Marseille in France. Unfortunately, that kind of had a setback from what I've heard. And also, Reece Nelson is also another player that hasn't talked about leaving. Maybe Leicester might want to get a loan out of him and an obligation to buy. Also, also West Ham are also interested in him as well. Um, Other than that, before the season ended with Arsenal, they finished second in the league to Manchester City. I believe Arsenal finished with 89 points, and Manchester City finished with 91. And they're closing gap. It seems like if you know the past 4 years, Arteta has always tried to make it to where they come close the past few years, and he's always trying to improve his team wherever they need. And on Tuesday, it's finally announced that it got Calafiori from Bologna. He's a left center back or left back, and uh, I believe Arsenal paid I think 40 million for him, which is like I said, Arteta's always um, trying to add on to the team and make improvements. I'm hoping that Sinchenko is the one to get left out. Because if you're an Arsenal fan, you guys know that anytime you you see Zinchenko playing, and especially in the big matches, he's due for a mistake, and that leaves Gabriel Magalhaes to fend for his own, and ends up not being the best outcome. With that said, there's also rumors that Arsenal are interested in Mikel Marino. He plays for Real Sociedad in Spain, and he also played a valuable role in Spain winning the Euros. As a player that I think can play the number six, and he's going to be in the mix for the central defensive midfield position. Position we all know that Partey and Jorginho are getting older. Um, so it's good to have improvements in that area as well. Um, we're also in a rumor has it that we're also in for a move for a striker, Jarvis, I think his name is, from Sporting Lisbon. He's a striker that I think can improve the team up front. We all know what Havertz did, especially during the last second half of the season. And Trossard has also been known to play that role as well, starting nine position for Arsenal. That said, I think Arteta clearly has a plan. I personally would prefer Ivan Toney, but I just say it because I'm biased towards the English England team that played during the summertime. Anyway, so that is our Arsenal news. They're playing tonight in Philadelphia against Liverpool. They come on tonight, I believe, at maybe 7:30 Central Time. Real quick. Yeah. The next game is at 6:30 my time, 7:30 Eastern time here in the States. It's really a kickoff there in uh, England, seeing how there's a time difference. So yeah, looking forward to watching it. Um, not that both teams don't have a full roster, but it's always a good game between Arsenal and Liverpool, old rivals. See how they line up tonight. See who comes in, who comes out. Just looking forward to how Arteta sets up the team. We know that the previous two matches, Arteta has used a lot of academy kids. Um, so I'm interested to see if he puts on more senior players. Not that any games matter, but it's always good to see your team do well, especially during preseason. So far, we've drawn winning PKs against Bournemouth. We beat Manchester United 2-1, even though their fans say that they wanted penalty kicks. We still won that game. A lot of fans don't really like the penalty kicks. I don't. I think it's not. It's really it's wasted time. It's stupid to me. So yeah, looking forward to watching the game tonight. Looking to see who starts up front. Um, there are rumors that Jesus and Zinchenko might leave. And if they do, then we have to get another striker or another winger because we know Trossard can play there as well as Havertz. Um, I think Jesus can only do so much when he's healthy. He's always seems like every time he goes dribbles, um, uh, almost going to go. He goes around very easily. He gets hurt very easily. Not to say there's talent. The talent isn't there because it is. Um, as a fan, it's frustrating because the hey Tom. How's it going, pal? No problem. I understand, man. Um, yeah. So when Arsenal and Jesus dilemma, it seems like he can pitch in four goals, 5 goals every season, but that's because he's always hurt. I mentioned the other night on the DWTT's podcast that Jesus is more like a playmaker now, simply because he could also give good assists, because he's in the area so much that he's able to do that. Um, so he adds value, but how much do we have to rely on him until we realize that he's not going to be playing for us the whole season? Zinchenko as well. I think with the addition of Calafiori, we have now a full set of players that can start and who can come off the bench, and Arteta can rotate now. As before, we have players always hurt, and we try to play players out of position. And also, one of the players that I think Arsenal fans forget about is Kieran Tierney, and T2 can be also showed in summertime. And Tierney can also have a world of experience. He's a great footballer. Unfortunately, he too has been really hurt. He's been hurt as well. So that's why Arteta wasn't really don't really doesn't play him as much as I think he should. Um, and also you have Tomiyasu, Timber, who both can play on the right, so they could give Ben White some rest if needed. So yeah, we're very lucky to have the amount of depth. I think Timber as well as Ben White can also play center back. So Arteta has really built the defense the way he wants to. So very lucky. So yeah, looking forward to seeing how Arteta improves the front line as well as midfield. Tom, do you have any questions for me? I know you're a Leeds supporter, so yeah. Again, just looking out for rumors. I know they're all rumors, nothing else but that. Again, I also saw a rumor today that uh, Leroy Sané from Bayern Munich could be coming in as well to give Bukayo Saka a rest. Because Saka, to me, as well as many other Arsenal fans, think that Bukayo Saka, though talented, uh, we think that Arteta kind of seems to use him way too much, and therefore can get burnt out very quickly. And though Saka won't admit it, he'll never take himself out the game because he, to me, is very quiet in a sense, or Arteta will just use him until he's hurt, really hurt. So, yeah, looking forward to seeing how both Saka and Raya Ramsdale come back from their vacation or holiday from playing in Euros. Uh, so, there's a lot of rumors also about how Ramsdale could get loaned out because right now their team's kind of skeptical about him and his playing style, really. So with that said, I don't know. I haven't really heard anything about Ramsdale leaving, though there are rumors about maybe Nottingham Forest, Nottingham Forest wanting him, but that'd be a loan deal, from what I read as well. So back to how Arteta might line up tonight. I honestly think that he'll start QVR at center back and Calafiori at left back, or Calafiori will come in sometime during the game. I've been reading his tweets about something to the effect where it's game time and I'm ready. I believe that's what he said. I may be wrong, but something to that effect. So it'd be good to see Calafiori come in. Yeah, I think Arteta also mentioned that he may not play a whole lot, given the fact that he's fairly new and hasn't really he's practiced, but not I believe full practice. Anyway, my point being all that is to kind of already play and Kierkegaard as well at some point. With that said, I think Haven could also play as well. I think Arteta has been impressed with him as well. So yeah, the youngsters, especially Ninwari, have been playing really well as well. So again, I'm interested in seeing how Arteta lines up. We'll find out soon. Um, and so yeah, as you guys know, the Olympics have been on lately, and been watching a little bits and pieces here and there when I'm home when I'm at home or or before work. There's a time difference between here and Paris, so I try to watch or keep up with it as much as I can. Team USA won today against South Sudan. Um, Kind of disappointed Joel Embiid didn't play today, but I think it's due to rest. Brother Tom, I always believe in Joe injury. Right. So on Saturday nights, to switch gears, Saturday night I'm going to be on a podcast with Mr. Tom, Tony Turner, and the rest of the bunch on the Full Nelson podcast. Um, or some people say Fool's Nelson podcast. Let's go over the lineup, shall we? Right. So, let's see here. So the lineup is as said. So CM Punk will wrestle Drew McIntyre, and if you guys watch wrestling, you guys know that CM Punk, aka Phil, and Drew McIntyre had been kind of beefing, as we say here in the States, for a very long time. Since CM Punk has been, you think so? Uh, so Tom, so right. So as you guys watch wrestling know that Phil and Drew McIntyre have been playing mind games with each other ever since Phil has come back to WWE. Drew McIntyre unfortunately got hurt in the Royal Rumble. Um, and ever since then, it seems like CM Punk has played with uh, he's been kind of messing around in Drew McIntyre's matches and hasn't really been too great of a fan of a certain Tony Turner. Tony despises CM Punk, aka Phil. Um, and I kind of like it. I kind of like the rivalry. I think CM Punk still has a bad reputation with some people. I think it's kind of good to seeing a rivalry like this. I don't. I want CM Punk to succeed. I really do. I hope he does. Because to some people he's a quote hero. And like him and Mr. Tom, we do like Pepsi. Joe Hendry, Jesus man. Um, so next up on the lineup card is the undisputed WWE Championship with Cody Rhodes and Solo Sikoa. Now, if you guys know how much I can't stand Solo Sikoa, as much this is as much as Tony hates CM Punk, aka Phil. Uh, to me, the Samoan Spike is kind of way far fetched. I'm sure it hurts in real life if someone did it in real life, but it just gets so old. And I believe we were talking about it on a podcast how we were comparing it to some of the dumbest finishers in wrestling history, but nothing compares to Cobra Clutch, Tom, right? Back in the 80s, the Iron Sheik used the Cobra Clutch on many times, many opponents, and that was the first submission move that they had. Anyway, so I'm curious to know if we'll get interference from the bloodline. I wonder if Cody Rhodes can withstand that said interference because Randy Orton is apparently injured, and I don't know what kind of mood Kevin Owens will be in. Um, so yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens. Will Cody Rhodes get help? I think there's an argument, Tom, that could be said that Roman Reigns had a lot of help, a lot of interference in his title reign. Even though we have been forced to acknowledge him. This line. Oh my God, Tom. I wonder what kind of name Tony has for them, Tom. Tom, so what do you think that? What do you think of the Cody Rhodes Solo Sikoa match? Do you think that Cody Rhodes could actually drop the belt? I think there's a possibility of that happening, Tom. I think I don't know. I just think that Solo could beat Cody Rhodes. I'm sure fans can also hope for that too because I think that Cody Rhodes is going stale as far as trying to hold the title. I don't know how you feel about it, but I'm sure you talk about it on Thursday tomorrow. Um, Tom says, "Hello, Alonzo. Sorry I'm still at work. It's not long. You really enjoy injury? I do now. I have a feeling that Damian Priest is beating Gunther." Tom says, "Tony only hates Punk a little bit more than he hates Joe Hendry. Is it because he's Scottish?" Lastly, Tom says, "I have a new name for the team of Sonya Deville, Julie Stark, and Sonya Blazer. They are the Studline." Yeah, Tom. Yeah, I'm curious to know how the Cody Rhodes match versus Solo Sikoa is going to go. It'd be interesting to see what happens if Jay's going to interfere and help out Cody Rhodes if the line do come out and get some yeet action. All right, so next up on the lineup card is World Heavyweight Championship. Damian Priest versus Gunther. Now, Tom, do you think the New Day will there's New Day? The Judgment Day will interfere in this match. Damian Priest, is a quite the character. It seems like he too, the title reign to me seems kind of stale as well, Tom. Only because he could have lost the title 2 times. And when he won the belt, I was convinced at WrestleMania that Drew McIntyre was just gonna win the belt outright. And I didn't really think that CM Punk or Damian Priest was gonna cash it in that soon. Of course, he waited so long to do so, and I think okay. Tom says, "I think Cody wins as Roman returns." I wonder if he returned at SummerSlam time because his dad just passed away, and we don't know what kind of shape he's gonna be in. Um, I say that because I have compassion for him, and he may not want to be in that wrestling state. So I think we're gonna have to wait longer for him to return. Um, my earliest guess would be at Survivor Series, but I don't think we'll see him until WrestleMania, the night after WrestleMania. I know that seems like a long ways to go, but this is how I feel, because I think it has to take a lot for him to come back, Tom. If I'm being real, Um, so I wonder how this match. Tom says, "I will never get sick of Drew McIntyre failing." I mean, it's comical, right? I mean, it's. I know Tony hates it, but it's quite comical to see him get so mad that he'll threaten to leave the WWE, and it's funny to me that he'll continue to stay because he just signed that big contract, so yeah, or maybe it's just Scottish, who knows. So Tom, right now I am watching the Raw edition, the March 1st edition, the March 1st, 1999 edition of Raw. So this is whenever you see the darkness, Ministry of Darkness, and the corporate corporate alliance, I guess, like wrestle each other. And this is where Kane and Stone Cold wrestle, and China interferes with it. Um, which to me is still an amazing time for WWE because you have all these people come out and be a nuisance. But you'll see why. I think after WrestleMania or before them all hanging out together. It's really weird. Yeah, Ministry versus Corporation. Yeah, I think it's a great storyline, Tom. Um, and we had some really interesting storylines as well. Um, yeah. So then now you have Bailey versus Nia Jax. This is interesting, Tom, because you have Sharon, the Mama 3 from Basildon, versus Nia Jax. And I think Jax is going to win, Tom, because Tiffany Stratton is going to come in and help out Nia Jax. I had that feeling, Tom. And then I think Tiffany Stratton's going to cash in the Money in the Bank at Summerslam. I think it's going to happen. Um, I think other people, other fans might want Nia Jax to win and beat Stratton as well because they think that she's earned her due, and that's why she'll win. I'm not. I think that's what's gonna happen, Tom. And I think Bailey's gonna lose that match somehow. What are your thoughts, Tom? It's gonna be interesting to see what happens. Um, Actually, I think both Bailey and Tiffany Stratton will get eaten by Nia Jax. That's just crazy dynamic, Tom. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, really looking forward to the Summerslam. So I think, Tom, this is a pretty good lineup considering we haven't talked about the next three matches. So the next match is Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley, and I both see them as heels. I think Liv Morgan, when she came back, I think that she was going to be the baby face. Um, but I didn't really see her wrestling Rhea Ripley because of the fact that I didn't think Rhea Ripley would be back that soon. Um, okay. Do you think, Tom, that the Judgment Day is now going to be like a complete heel turn? Um, because Becky Lynch, is she still on holiday or is she going to come back, Tom? Okay. So Gunther then is a heel then. I think I think the women's division is just going to get better, Tom. I think people still forget about Charlotte Flair. People forget about, oh wow. You think Bianca Belair is going to turn heel, Tom? People still forget about Alexa Bliss being out too. Yeah, Tom, I hope Alexa Bliss comes back soon too. I think wrestling fans have missed her far too long. Um, and of course, you have Becky Lynch, who's still on holiday, I believe. Seems like she's taking a lot of vacation time, I guess, or medical leave of absence, as they say. But yeah, I can never remember Becky Lynch's name for some reason. It's weird. Um, so Tom, how do you think so? Mm, that's crazy, man. I think you're right because everyone loves Bianca Belair, and people are still seeing Jade Cargill as a Gary Heido man. Um, People are still kind of think of Jade Cargill as a kind of mystery person. I think I think a lot of people don't know about her. I think people are still kind of see her as a mystified figure. I think that, we were on a podcast and we were saying how many times, granted, NJ Styles has the same issue with the rings, and I believe it was Paris, right? Oh no, it was Scotland, and they're trying to figure out why the belts all messed up for and all that. Um, I didn't know you're still Gary. Are you still at work or are you home? I was gonna send you a link, but I didn't want to. I didn't know if you were working or not, but are you looking forward to the games tonight, Gary? I am. I'm off tonight today, so I'm able to do this podcast, but I'm looking forward to watching the game tonight, the match. But Tom, why do you think that? Why do you think Jay Cargill is going to turn heel before? Why do you think that Jay Cargill is going to turn heel before Bianca Belair? Because I thought, I'm sure we talked about before how Bianca Belair could just turn heel um, on Jay Cargill, but it hadn't happened yet. So I wonder if all this is going to take time. Yes, they're playing at 6:30 my time, and I believe it's 7:30 Gary's time, and I believe way late on your time. I think 12:30 your time. If Ryan's gonna watch long, God bless him, because I I I could do it because I did the New Zealand watch along with you, Tom, but that's too much. Hey Gary, who do you look forward to watching tonight? Or who do you have your eye on tonight during the match? Um, yeah, the next match I believe it's Logan Paul versus LA Knight. Right. So I know a lot of people, including myself. Okay, that makes sense too, Tom. And you're right. I think Bianca Belair has been there for a while now, where kids gravitate to her towards her more. So I get that theory as well, Tom. Um, she's like, I don't know how you feel about it, Tom, but I think she's like the Hulk Hogan to kids nowadays. Um, because she could easily tell a kid to eat their vitamins or to take their vitamins, and they will. Um, I think she has that kind of effect on the kids nowadays, like Hulk Hogan was when we were kids. Um, but yeah, I agree, Tom. I'm not a big fan of the Paul brothers. I think, in my opinion, they kind of taken the easier way out of things. I still think that Logan Paul's wrestling is quite suspect at times. I don't know if you agree with that or not, but I think his rise has gotten pretty big when he's gotten into WWE. Um, I kind of wish that Gronk would have been able to wrestle more because I would like to have seen them have rivalry. Um, but I do like LA Knight as well. I think he also has a way with the audience as well as with the kids. So yeah, we'll be watching together to see how it turns out. But I'm really looking to see how LA Knight can somehow beat Logan Paul by using when Logan Paul uses uh, his um, brass knuckles. Oh, Tom, do you care to elaborate? Gee, sorry, I can just do this real quick. Mini Free versus the Corporation. Tiffany Stratton will get eaten by Nia Jax. Tom says Rhea Ripley is now a babyface. I think so is Priest. I think Damage Control are also now babyface too. Charlotte Flair will be back soon, and she will be sniffing around the belts like a hungry dog. I Tom says, I think Jade Cargill will turn heel on Belair. And Gary says, the DWTT says, hello, 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 hello. And then Tom says, oh, look, it's Gary. And Scotland, Paris, and Tokyo. Arsenal playing tonight? Yes, they are. I think Belair is too beloved by the kids to turn heel right now. Cargill needs more of a natural heel. Feels like more natural. Cargill feels more like a natural heel. Yes, Tom. Yeah, you're right. Logan Paul won't be LA Knight. And Logan Paul needs to go away for a bit. Just Google why Logan Paul couldn't go on the WWE tour of Japan last week. And Tom says, because he went to suicide floors in Japan and found the bodies. Logan Paul has a lifetime ban from. Oh wow, good for Japan. As less and less Logan Paul is good for me and them. Wow, that's crazy, Tom. I want Jake Paul to get banned everywhere too. I want Jake Paul to get banned from fighting wrestlers he shouldn't. He shouldn't have that journey too. Wow, Tom. Wow. And you know, Japan and Tokyo, Hershey, all those places have a knack for liking Americans. Oh, Tom. I don't have, but like I said, having Logan Paul banned from WWE will make my day. But he won't, because he's Logan Paul. And I don't know why I don't know why him and his brother are liked so much. It's just really odd, Tom and Gary for still there. Okay. So lastly, as an intercontinental championship with Canada's native son, Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker. All right, see you, Tom. Thanks, man. Versus Braun Breaker versus Ilya Dragunov, aka Gavin. So for the past, I don't know, year and a half, year and 3 months, yeah. But will he destroy Gavin? Because they go back to the old NXT days. And for me, Tom, this is quite the match, I think, because there's a lot of history there with two opponents. And I think Tom and Gary for listening that Braun Breaker can win this title. But I also think it will lead to a rivalry between Gavin and Braun Breaker because when we were kids, Devin is a match, yes. It's a triple threat match. Okay. All right, Gary. Well, yeah, thanks for listening. But yeah, it's gonna be Gavin, Sami Zayn, and Braun Breaker, son of Rick Steiner. But to me, like when I was a kid, I'm sure you can agree with this, Tom, and maybe you, Gary, as well, that the Intercontinental Championship really was the belt. I think they had a lot of rivalries and all that, and that was like the stepping stone for the the heavyweight championship. So yeah, it'll be a good match, I think. And you know, I think Brian Breaker is just a big dude, man. I think he's at where he could do a lot of good things and be quite good at it for a long time. Um, so yeah, looking forward just to watching SummerSlam. It's always been one of those big four pay-per-views that no one misses, and there's been a lot of good matches in the past with those SummerSlams as we watched Tony I and he did. I haven't watched this Monday Night Raw or no, I didn't watch Monday Night Raw this weekend or this Monday because I couldn't find it. The Olympics were on USA, so I'll go back and rewatch it, and I'll probably watch NXT as well. I won't be on Thursday, Tom. I have to work, unfortunately. So, um, anyway, so yeah, looking forward to watching SummerSlam with you guys, and looking forward to watching who puts up a fight. I think there is some titles that will change hands, which could always be a good thing, in my opinion. But yeah, looking forward to watching it. Yes, sir. Lastly, I just want to talk about NASCAR real quick, just to give you guys a rundown on what's happening. Due to Olympics, they won't be back until August 11th, because of the break they had. They do this 2-week break every 4 years. Ever since they've been on NBC, they've been doing it, I believe. So, yeah, excuse me. So, yeah, Martin Truex Jr. is, I believe, let's take a look real quick. So when they come back, they'll be at Richmond, which is kind of cool because I'm working that Sunday and get off at 4:30, but they don't start until 5 o'clock, so I'll be able to watch the race. So we're just gonna go through the standings real quick to see who's on first and go going down to 16th. So today the driver standings is as follows. Kyle Larson is in first. Chase Elliott is in second. Their teammates with Hendricks Motorsports, Tyler Reddick, Denny Hamlin, Ryan Blaney, William Byron, Martin Truex Jr. is in seventh. Christopher Bell is eighth. Barry Keselowski is ninth. Alex Bowman is 10th. Ty Gibbs is 11th. Chris Buescher is 12th. Ross Chastain is 13th. Bubba Wallace is 14th. Joey Logano is 15th. And Chase Briscoe is 16th. And Suarez is 17th. So our very own Martin Truex Jr. is on points, has not won a race this year, but he's 108 points on the good, as they say in NASCAR, on the points. So Yeah, kind of discouraged because he has yet to win a race, and if the season ended today, he could get in on points. So could Ty Gibbs and Chris Buescher. Unfortunately, the season ended on September 5th, which is actually the season September 1st. Um, let's see. Yeah, September 1st, and he has won a race, and he could not get in the playoffs based on points. So it's cutting it loose. If there's a winner and a repeat winner uh, on the 11th, he could get in because he has enough points to get in. Um, with that said, he's got to win out. Basically, I want him to win out because it's his last NASCAR race full time season. And it'd be special if he wins the championship in his last game. Last race. It'd be special if he won his last, if he was a champion his last season as a NASCAR driver. Ah, um, be iconic. Um, Unfortunately, his pit his crew chief hasn't really panned out. Uh, as you guys have seen my tweets, they're not happy ones. Usually it's because he messes up or the pit crew is not is not fast enough. Um, and last week, 2 weeks ago, in the last race they raced in the Brickyard 500 in Indianapolis, they found something that was suspicious. So he had to start from the back and race. He got stage points, I believe, but that was not enough. Um, and he also got into a little wreck. He finished the race, but still kind of unfortunate. Um, you can make the argument that Kyle Larson was the cause of that. You could say that Ross Chastain was the cause of that. But plain and simple, it just wasn't a good race for him. He just had some good, like Pocono, the race before last was pretty decent. He won the stage. He finished eighth, but that's one of his races he's been good at in the past. So unfortunately, he didn't really get nothing out of it. So hoping for the best for the next four races. Next four races are, let's see. So um, you have Richmond, Richmond Raceway. You have Mission International Speedway. You have Daytona and Darlington. And Martin Truex has won two of those, and he won at Richmond and he won at Darlington. He's come close to Michigan and close to uh, Daytona. Um, so yeah, I like the chances of him getting on points and winning the race because that's what it is right now. It's just coming to that point. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to how the season pans out in NASCAR. Um, Again, this is a time of year where football also gets started, and looking forward how how the team's getting better. Looking forward to preseason games. I'm a big Eagles fan, so I'm looking to see how they work through the issues of last year's collapse. You know, Gary is a big Cowboy fan, so I'm sure that he has high hopes for them. Though I don't think they will have. I don't think they have much of a chance this year. I'm only joking, Gary. I'm joking. Um, yeah, looking forward to seeing how everything unfolds during Olympics. Big shout out to uh, those Olympians that have medaled from USA, especially the women's gymnastics team. They won gold last night or yesterday. Looking to see how everything unfolds with them and as well as swimming. there was a hometown girl from the Woodlands that won, I believe, silver. So yeah, looking forward to seeing everything and how it transpires. Looking forward to track and field as well as basketball, and how the men's and women's soccer do in their tournaments and Olympics. And so yeah, there's lots to look forward to. Um, Again, I think what hurts is the time difference here in the States. I've been in Paris, but it's expected. But thankfully, they have recaps at night. So for those of us who worked, can watch it. And those of you guys who have Peacock can also tune in as well. So with that said, we're almost at an hour. Looking forward to the game tonight. I'm a big Arsenal fan. And looking to see how they do this time around, this game. Hopefully they go finish this run in America unbeaten. But interesting to see how Liverpool do as well because they have a new manager. Seeing how they've gotten, it seems like they haven't really made any significant signings yet, which is kind of rare for them because they usually have their targets ready and going. So yeah, they have a season to look forward to as well. Those Liverpool fans out there. Of course, the new coach came from Fine Art. I have a buddy of mine who is from Rotterdam and he supports Fine Art. So he's said nothing but good things about their coach, the new coach. Um, so it's interesting how they do actually this year. By no means am I a Liverpool fan like our friend Ray is. We joke with him because that's his second favorite team is Liverpool because he'll have guests that are from Liverpool or has supported Liverpool. So um, anyway, so yeah, make sure you guys tune in on Saturday. I'll be on the Full Nelson podcast on YouTube. Uh, Myself, Mr. Tom, Tony the Tiger, aka Tony Turner, Stan the Man, and uh, Russ Morgan, as well as Gary may come along too, and our friend Stan the Man. Well, Spencer will always be there as well. Of course, Stan the Man. Yeah, so it's a big day on Saturday. So yeah, and then on is it Sunday? I believe USA are back on again. And the U.S. men's basketball team play Puerto Rico. So yeah, just looking forward to seeing how the summer goes. Again, Arsenal start their season against Wolves on August the 17th. Um, yeah, so hopefully they'll make more signings or get their targets to sign with Arsenal. Again, for some reason, it's been a very quiet summer for some teams to find new players. So maybe it's because of the Euros, maybe it's because of Copa America, maybe it's just how times are nowadays with budgets and financial fair play and all that. So, I heard a rumor today that Atletico Madrid are in for Conor Gallagher. Um, Again, that's rumor. Leroy Sané is latest rumor from Arsenal. So yeah, big days ahead. Um, Again, tonight's Arsenal Liverpool game come on at 6:30, 7:30 Eastern time. I'm sure Ryan's gonna do a watch along for that. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I can't wait till the season starts. How our new players coming in. I know kind of already got signed the other day. So yeah, looking forward to seeing how he works out with his new teammates. Looking forward to seeing if the new academy kids can make it to the first team. I know Inori kind of has uh, gotten it horn by get a bull by its horns, so to speak, as far as being a stable and perhaps being a backup to Udegaard, or at least getting some playing time, as well as Haven and Lewis Scully. And Salah Hand has also been pretty active as well. Um, so that said, it's been a whole hour since I've started doing this podcast today, which is kind of impressive, seeing how I'm by myself today. So with that said, I want to thank Mr. Tom for being on, and Gary as well. Um, Yeah, Gary's podcast is the DWTT. He does a road trip on Saturday and the trip on Sunday. Excuse me, on Mondays. So make sure you tune into him. Make sure you tune into Tom. Everyone loves leads on Sundays at 4:30 local time. Um, and tune into the Full Nelson podcast tomorrow afternoon at 4:30, I believe, or 4 o'clock. Sorry, Tom. But yeah, these two podcasts have been very good to me. I've been on guest on both of them, so please tune in. And also, you can find Tom and Tony on the Full Nelson podcast. That's FOOL Nelson podcast. And join me on their podcast on Saturday. I've been with Tom and Tony, Stan, Russ, and Spencer. Maybe Gary if he's up for it. Anyways, have a good night, everyone. Take it easy and see you next time. Bye now.